Will we get into the spirit of the game?
Hi, my name is Jake, and I am a bookish drummer. So for this video, I am joined yet again with my lovely wife, Stacey.
Hey!
And we are going to be doing the brand new Frankenstein Book Challenge. And basically, this is a new game that we both came up with. And we have 10 story elements that I'm going to have to choose from 10 random books that I don't know what they are, that will be revealed to me one at a time, chosen by Stacey.
Yes.
And these 10 things, these 10 elements are going to be plot, villain antagonist, author, prose, genre or subgenre, setting, protagonist or main character, atmosphere, length, and side characters. So once you reveal the first book, I have to pick an element from that book to go on here.
To become part of your Frankenstein book.
Yes.
And if you enjoy watching this, don't forget to head on over to my channel, The Chapter Conundrum, where we do the opposite of this. So essentially, I'm playing the game with books that Jake has chosen.
Yep, we just filmed that, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, go check it out.
But stay here and watch this video first.
Oh, okay. What if they've already watched this video? They haven't, because they're in the intro.
Yeah. Duh. But anyway, you've chosen 10 books, and I'm going to have to figure out what my Frankenstein-ish kind of book is going to be. What am I going to be reading?
It's going to be interesting.
What have you done?
I've done some things.
Oh boy. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. So what's my first book going to be?
So your first book is The Alloy of Law by Brandon Sanderson. And I will caveat that if you pick this for setting, it has to be this Western setting.
Yeah. I don't think I'm going to go with setting.
Okay.
Westerns don't usually do it for me. Like, this is kind of the exception to the rule a little bit. Protagonist, he's not like the best protagonist. The plot, Sanderson's pretty good with plot.
You could just pick him as the author in general because you know he's going to craft something interesting out of whatever concoction you end up with.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll go with Sanderson and we'll roll with that.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens.
You tend to really enjoy his writing. Like, I don't think there's any of his books that you've hated. Like, Hero of Ages is probably your least favorite.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I feel like that's a good pick for you to end up with something you'll be happy about.
Yeah, he's my third favorite author of all time, so I feel like he'll at least write something readable.
Yeah.
This might dictate, like, what other things I do, though.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm probably not going to make Sanderson write a horror novel.
Your next choice is Kings of the Wild by Nicholas Eames.
Okay.
So what are you going to pull from this?
I really like the plot, and the villain is okay. The side characters are superb in this one. That's probably what I'm going to go with. I like the atmosphere. The protagonist, again, is good, but kind of like Alloy of Law, he's not the best element of the story.
I think Sanderson would do something interesting with him, though, maybe. You never know.
Yeah. I also don't know how many fantasy books you're going to choose, so I could just go with genre and kind of just say, like, fantasy or quest fantasy.
Well, and also it would be kind of humorous, probably.
Yeah, but those side characters. But also, like, Sanderson writing those characters, I don't think he would make them as funny.
That's fair.
I think Nicholas Eames kind of brings out the humor more, so I'm going to go just...
Well, then you probably don't want to pick it for subgenre, because then it's like Brandon Sanderson trying to write, like, a funny comedic thing.
Yeah. Well, it's tough. I could go with setting, because it's kind of just... I think he could do something with, like, all the different territories that they explore in the quest. So that I could do. I could just pick plot of like, just,
Quest fantasy.
like they have to go save.
It's a has-been older person going to try and save his daughter. Well, first he's getting the band back together. So, like, getting a group of ragtag characters together to go on this quest of finding his daughter.
Yeah. Yeah. How do you think he would do with these side characters? I don't think he'd make them as funny, but they'd probably be good.
Yeah, I feel like he would do something interesting with them because I feel like when he has kind of already established characters, he delves into their backstories and kind of like what makes them the way they are, or like what have they been through. So, I mean, I'm thinking of like Stormlight. I haven't read it, but like I've heard a lot of people talk about how interesting the character backstories are. And so I feel like if you give him older characters, he would handle that well.
Yeah. I'm going to go with side characters. It's not going to be as great as Nicholas Eames does it, because also Sanderson, like, his humor isn't that crass as it is in here. But the characters themselves kind of stand alone as really good ones. So I'm going to go with side characters.
And Moog is your favorite, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even Sanderson writing Moog, I think, would still be humorous.
Okay.
So,
well, he would have interesting magic.
Yeah, that's true. And he would probably, yeah.
The magic would wreak havoc.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'll go with Sanderson writing side characters from Kings of the Wild so far. So, we'll see what else you got. Is it going to be all fantasy?
No.
Okay. Just got lucky there.
Your next pick is The 12 Kings in Sherkai by Bradley P. Bolio.
Another fantasy book.
Another fantasy book.
This one is interesting. I do, man, this one's got a lot of stuff I like.
Mm-hmm.
Protagonist is very intriguing, of Cheda.
Do you think Brandon Sanderson would do a good job writing Cheda? And do you think she would fit well with the ragtag group from Kings of the Wild?
That's a weird combo, I think. I really like the atmosphere of like the desert setting and kind of the mystery, especially in this first book. I think Sanderson does do well establishing mystery in his books, because like at least the first book in the series, or yeah. So I think that's an interest. I like the prose, the plot. God, there's too much to choose. You chose a really good book. That's the problem. I don't know what to choose in this. Man.
What would you say is the genre or subgenre of this? Like, it's epic fantasy for sure.
Yeah, it's epic fantasy.
But what's like
assassin fantasy? Yeah. It also has horror elements in it. So
yeah.
it's kind of a mishmash.
Yeah. It's a hard one to pin down.
Yeah, it does have an interesting villain too.
Mm-hmm. Well, there are multiple villains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
If you pick this as the villain, do you also get to include like the fantasy creatures that are wreaking havoc? Because there's a lot of those in that series, or a lot of those in this series. Because that's an interesting consideration too.
Yeah. You know what I'm going to do though? I'm going to go with plot.
Okay.
Because I think Sanderson, because this is like specifically this book, right? 12 Kings in Sherkai Bradley P. Bolio does a great job of introducing, kind of the world and the mystery of what's going on. So yeah, I'm going to go with the plot of 12 Kings in Sherkai. I think Sanderson would make something with that.
Okay. You should probably tell everyone what the plot of this is. Or do you want me to?
You can say it.
All right. So essentially in here, our main character is part of the city of Sherkai. She lives there. It's a desert fantasy city. It's kind of like the trade hub of the area. And it's really starts out with her kind of uncovering what her mom has been up to. But she also wants revenge on the kings in this city. And so it's a lot of kind of like uncovering maybe what they have done that's not so great, and also trying to figure out a way to kind of like learn more about them and maybe take some of them down.
Yeah, because she's an assassin.
Yeah.
She wants to basically kill all the kings in Sherkai.
Yeah.
So I think Sanderson would have an interesting spin on that, and then you throw in Kings of the Wild side characters. It'd be kind of a weird book, but I'm liking it so far.
Yeah.
You picked a book that has too many great elements.
Well, that's kind of what makes it interesting and why I put it so early in the ranking, because there's a lot you could go off on there.
Okay, so what's book number 4?
Book number 4 is Krampus by Brom.
Villain. Sanderson writing the Krampus would be very funny, but I'm not going to go with that.
For reference, the length of this, if you wanted to consider that, is 357 pages.
It's too short for Sanderson.
Yeah. It's hard to tell because it's this wide format, and so I was like, how many pages is this?
So yeah, I'm not going to go with length. I'm not going to go with setting, because it's basically just like, it's not a good fantasy setting. Prose, maybe. I'm not going to do villain, although that would be hilarious. The atmosphere is good because it's definitely a horror book. It's definitely got a creepy vibe to it, which I think would work well with the plot of Sherikai.
I don't know that it's Sanderson's forte, but it would be interesting to see his attempt.
Yeah, I might go with prose though, because I do like the way that he writes his. I think he does a good job of plot and character, which I think Sanderson at his best is good at that.
It also seems like it's very straightforward in terms of writing.
So yeah, I wouldn't be mad about the prose, because I think, like I said, Sanderson is a good mix of characters and what am I trying to say?
Plot.
And plot. So, and I think Brom is as well. So, I'll go with that.
Okay.
Although Krampus as the villain would be hilarious. All right, what's for book 5?
Your next choice is Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid.
Oh boy. The hell am I gonna pick with this in a fantasy setting? I can't go genre or setting because it's like real world. Do I make Daisy Jones the protagonist?
It's 382 pages if you're curious about that.
Again, too short. The atmosphere makes no sense because this is kind of like
a
band drama.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it weird and say Daisy Jones is the protagonist.
She's essentially gonna be Cheta in the Sherikai novels.
Oh God.
With this ragtag, this is not going to be a very successful assassination mission.
Daisy Jones with the side characters of Kings of the Wild in Sherikai. Oh God.
This is hilarious.
What have I done? We're about halfway through, y'all. And so far, this book is going to be a trip.
Your next option is Age of Myth by Michael J. Sullivan.
Okay. This is interesting. I still think it's... Hopefully you got some longer books. Because none of these books are super long.
This one is like 444.
Okay. Yeah, the length I don't think is great. The atmosphere I don't think would quite work with the story. I could go genre and just say fantasy, epic fantasy. That's probably the safe bet. The villain, I do think there are better villains. I could also go with setting because it's kind of an interesting setting. Like take the plot of Sherikai, but put it in the setting of Legends of the First Empire. That might work. But if I am crafting like a fantasy, it's probably a safe bet to go with epic fantasy.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to go with that.
That's what I would do if I were in your shoes right now.
Yeah, the setting is very tempting. But if I want to actually like have it be cohesive, I think having it epic fantasy written by Brandon Sanderson with all these elements, yeah, that's the safest bet.
Your next pick is The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang.
Okay. This one, the atmosphere might work. Actually, I might go with atmosphere because there are like the first half is kind of like a school setting, and then the second half is kind of like war. So you do kind of have some like conflicting elements because there's some humorous moment, and then it gets very dark. So, which would make sense for this because it's like the plot of Sherikai, but you also have
comedic characters.
You have comedic characters in Daisy Jones.
Yeah.
So there's that. The length is probably a lot better. It's probably like 500. Yeah, it's like 500 pages. Hopefully you've got a longer book in here somewhere. What do you think about the villain? How would that work?
I don't think it's the best choice for this yet, because I'm assuming that with Sanderson, like, the villain is maybe going to be who we're trying to take down with our assassin plot.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to go with Atmosphere. I think that's the best choice for Poppy War. If I would have had protagonists left, I would have probably picked Ren, because I do really like her. But we're stuck with Daisy Jones.
All right, your next pick is You by Caroline Kepnes.
Do I go with villain and just make it Joe Goldberg? How would that work? Maybe he's one of the kings.
Maybe.
That might be. It can't be setting.
Or maybe he's like in the city of Sherikai wreaking havoc.
Yeah. It can't be setting because this is like New York, so that is stupid. Length, it's like 300, 400 pages, so I'm not doing that. I'm going to have to go with villain. And Joe Goldberg, what I'm going to do, he's one of the kings.
Okay.
And yeah, so this this is very interesting. So we only have 2 books left.
Yep.
We've got setting
and a potential swap that you could commit to before knowing what it is.
Yeah, I don't know if we went over that, but at the end, I have the choice of swapping one of the categories with a mystery book, which I still don't know what it is. So that's still a risk. But
you'd have to commit to what category you're swapping and the swap before knowing. Yeah.
Yeah. There's one glaring one that I would probably swap, but we'll see what happens. So we've got 2 books left.
Yeah. So your next book is The Dead Zone by Stephen King.
Okay. My all-time favorite Stephen King book. Again, like the setting... I probably should have just bit the bullet and chose Legends of the First Empire setting.
It's 402 pages.
Which, yeah, both of these don't work really well. Like the length is only 400 pages, which I feel like is not the best for Sanderson. And the setting, like it's real world. So that doesn't make any sense either. So hopefully you've got another fantasy book in there. Right now, I'm going to have to go with length and just have it be a very short, like, first book in a series.
Well, like, how many pages is, like, the Mistborn Era 2 books? Because they're kind of that.
Well, you had one of them. Alloy of Law.
How many pages is Alloy of Law? It's like the same length.
Yeah, I guess.
So it's not unheard of if you were to do a longer series, which Sanderson could.
So, we've got, like, a 400-page... Sanderson first book in a series.
Yeah.
Very interesting. So we got one left, and this has to be for setting. So whatever this book is, that's where it's set. Man, I should have just went with Michael J. Sullivan. Oh, bingo!
You're set in Westeros.
All right. I'm perfectly fine with that pick.
That also makes a lot of sense for, like, the trying to be an assassin taking down a king plot. Yeah,
so this, obviously, like, 12 kings in Cherokee, but we could just make it 7 for, like, for Westeros.
Yeah.
7 kingdoms. And I guess Daisy Jones is trying to take them out. And also the side characters make sense because there's a lot of, crass, funny side characters. And, yeah, so okay, so we'll recap here. I'm going to keep the setting. So we've got the plot of Cherokee with Joe Goldberg as one of the villains and one of the kings. I guess one of the kings.
The kings of Westeros.
One of the kings of Westeros. That's hilarious. This is also written by Brandon Sanderson, which is funny in and of itself. With the prose of Brom, which is fine. With an epic fantasy genre, not subgenre. With epic fantasy genre, the setting of Westeros, A Song of Ice and Fire, Daisy Jones as the protagonist, Poppy War atmosphere, which I think can be cohesive in this.
Yeah.
The Dead Zone length, which I don't love, but I might keep it. And Kings of the Wild character. So the two ones that don't work well for me are definitely Daisy Jones and the 400-page length. So I'd have to kind of just decide if I want to choose the mystery book to swap those. What do you think I should do?
I think you should do a swap, but I'm not going to tell you what to swap.
Okay, because you know what the mystery book is.
Well, obviously. But I think you'd be happy with a swap.
Okay. Yeah, I just think Daisy Jones is just too goofy. So I'm gonna do a swap. I'm gonna erase her name and make it permanent. I like the squeaky noise there. And then we're gonna switch Daisy Jones, and whatever this mystery book is, I have to go with the main character or protagonist. So hopefully I made a good decision. Did I?
You are getting Loch Lamora.
Yes! I definitely made a great decision here. Obviously, Loch Lamora as the protagonist. I think this works extremely well. Especially, like, you pair him with the Kings of the Wild side characters. I think you've got kind of a weird mash of, like, the darkness of the Sherikai plot, and then kind of the humor of Loch Lamora and Kings of the Wild. Atmosphere of Poppy War. It's still an epic fantasy written by Sanderson.
Set in Westeros.
With Joe Goldberg as one of the kings of Westeros, which is hilarious. I mean, he'd
be a creepy dude and like a good target.
He's kind of giving Joffrey vibes. He's doing some weird stuff.
He's doing some weird stuff for sure.
Yeah, it's all right. So the only thing now that I'm not super pumped with is the length. 400-page Sanderson book doesn't quite do it for me, but you know, this is obviously the start of a very weird and probably not popular fantasy series, but I would be into it. So I'm not too mad about this. I think I did a good job.
Yeah, I think with the options you had, you did a pretty interesting piecemeal mix here.
Yeah.
That mostly feels cohesive except for Joe.
No, I think Joe is fine.
You think Joe's fine? I think it's a little weird.
I think if anything, it's just not long enough.
Yeah. Okay.
You picked some really short books, babe.
I had some longer ones towards the end. Like, I had Game of Thrones at the end.
Yeah, but by the time I got to it,
you could have also done, like, the length of Poppy War and had something else for atmosphere.
Yeah. I was thinking you were going to have, like, a
chunk.
Like a 1,000-page tome.
I didn't.
Like Outlander or something.
I didn't.
Well, anyway, I did the best I could with with the cards I was dealt. So, what do y'all think? Do y'all think I did a good job, or did I mess this all up?
Don't forget to head on over to my channel if you enjoyed this to watch me play this game.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun, and you know what? I won't say anything about how you did.
Yeah, go watch it and find out. It was fun though.
Also, comment down below if you want us to do this again, or if there are any other types of games that you want us to play, because Stacey basically made me come up with this game.
We could do a spooky season round of this, where we're trying to like build a spooky season book.
Yeah, also if you want us to do this game, but also make it themed, because like we could make this like a Frankenstein fantasy novel, a horror novel. We could do it
sci-fi.
Any which way, or any other games you want us to play. Comment down below. And yep, thank you for joining me yet again.
Of course, it was fun.
Yes.
I always like throwing a wrench in your games.
But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a quick thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. And if you are subscribed, stay subscribed for more content. I post every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And Bookish Drama Discord, where we've got tons of buddy reads and read-alongs happening all the damn time. We've got my Patreon link down below if you want to go support me there for as little as $1 a month. And my Amazon wishlist if you want to buy us a book. Because if I get it, she gets it.
Yeah.
So, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a fantastic day. Bye.
Bye.